So welcome to my class, and in this we are continuing on with definition of statistics, and we have talked about statistics in the singular sense. That in that we talked about the statistical methods, and in this we are going to talk about the numerical data. So in the plural sense, so statistics in the plural sense. So in this, uh, okay, what kind of data should there be? They should be numerically expressed, placed in relation to each other. Data should have what are the causes behind it. We should, all of that we have to do. And I just want you to have a look and see while we go on, because we've already discussed it in great detail in the previous classes. So in this, I want you to just see what it is. And again, let me just reiterate that Horace and Sequist definition in the plural sense, that it is the aggregate of facts affected to a marked extent by multiplicity of causes, numerically expressed, enumerated or estimated according to reasonable standard of accuracy, collected in a systematic manner for a predetermined purpose and placed in relation to each other. Okay, so we have, and this can be studied as characteristics of statistics. When you're talking about any data that you study should have these characteristics. If these characteristics are not there, at least they should be having one or the other. If they are not there, that means it is not statistics. So for example, statistics are aggregate of facts. A single fact just cannot be called statistics, even though the fact is numerically expressed. It has to be placed in relation to some other figure. Otherwise, it will not be statistics. It should be aggregates of facts and not just one fact only. Okay, for example, if I say a single figure of 60 marks is, and say it is statistics, it makes no sense. But a series relating to the marks of a group of students, how many marks did they get? That could be called statistics. Okay, or if a household is talking about the marks of his children, well, that will make statistics. Now, numerically expressed, they have to be expressed in terms of numbers. You can't say, oh, he's done good or bad. Nothing of that sort. You can't say she's tall and taller and than the other person. No, you have to be very specific. You have to say 5 feet 6 inches as compared to Apurva who's 5 feet 7 inches, whatever. Now, another thing is, it is another important characteristic of statistics in the plural sense is that statistics are affected by a multiplicity of causes. So there are several factors or causes which affect statistics. For example, if we are doing a study on the number of failures in a classroom, so then what are they? There are several causes. Like for example, where do the children come from? How did they fare in the last class? How are they good in the other subjects? How do they behave with the other teachers? How is this teacher? Which background are they from? Are they having too much disturbance at home? Okay, and all of that. So one can't just pick up one data and say, oh, the teacher is not strict enough, and that is why. You have to see that in a perspective. Multiplicity of causes have to be taken into account. So if you just relate it to only one cause, that data will not be statistics. Then you have statistics must be enumerated or estimated according to reasonable standards of accuracy. So because you have to draw certain conclusions from them, it is necessary that they should be reasonably accurate. Now, lack of accuracy can cause misleading conclusions. Now, data may be enumerated or estimated without affecting their reasonable standard of accuracy. Actual counting means enumeration, and estimation is that based on your, say, how much have you been in a particular profession, you can always make a enumeration. You can you can make a wild guess, as one can say. Okay. So that is so, but it should be a reasonable standard of accuracy. Then it should be collected in a systematic manner. So this is when you're talking about collection of data, again it has to be related to your singular sense. How is it to be collected? That is very important. And then when you are deciding on collecting of data, you have to have some predetermined purpose in your head. You have to decide it. The purpose has to be well defined. Otherwise you'll get a wrong conclusion. Then, for example, if you're collecting data for, say, statistics of industrial output, then we must decide on the regions, commodities, and periods for which they are needed. And then statistics should be placed in relation to each other. So they should be comparable. You should be able to compare. And sometimes it's period wise, sometimes it's region wise, or sometimes it's internationally compared. So whatever. So of course, whenever you're doing the comparison, you have to see that the data are homogeneous. That is, they relate to the same phenomena or the subject. So for example, it is meaningless to compare, say, if you're talking about the height of the students and their intelligence. So that is what we really talked. That is what is in the plural sense, statistics in the plural sense.